Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to spend a day trying to be productive. For the past couple days, I have felt like I have just been in a life slump. I've been in bed all day, either watching TV or scrolling on TikTok. I haven't even been reading all week. I also got home from Boston 2 weeks ago and I hadn't unpacked my suitcase whatsoever. So I started unpacking that suitcase and also setting up my books so that I can put them into my bookshelf because I have so many books that I've bought that have just been sitting on my floor and have no spot on my shelf. Now I'm about to have breakfast. It's actually a lot later in the day because cleaning my room took me a lot longer than I thought it would. My cousin brought me a bowl from Tropical Smoothie. I'm about to eat that. Either have a coffee or an energy drink. I'm not quite sure because I need some kind of energy. I need a boost for the day. And then I want to get into my books. So as you guys saw while I was cleaning and organizing, my books are all over the place. My bookshelves are technically organized, but since the last time I reorganized my books, which was my mid-year reset, I have gotten so many new books and they're sitting on top of my bookshelves over here. And then I have like 10 more books on the floor. So I have over 15 books that I have to get into my shelves. I don't really know how I'm going to do that. Since I already cleaned my room and that's out of the way, that was like my biggest thing for today, that I needed to clean up my room because it was a mess and I feel like it was fueling my bed rotting. Sorry if the camera angle just changed. I had to change my battery on my camera because it was dying. But right now I'm going to have my bowl because I'm hungry and I'm also going to get some caffeine in me. I've been having coffee for like a week straight, but I got the new Bloom flavor and I want to try it. And then we're going to get into my books and organizing them because they have just been staring back at me and they want to be put away and I want to put them away. Breakfast break first while I actually shouldn't watch TV, but I can't really read and eat my bowl. I realize you can't really be productive in your pajamas all day, so I did change and I somewhat got ready for the day. I have this stack of books over here and then you guys can't really tell, but I also have a stack of books down there on the floor. I'm also really hoping that my DJI mic does not die in the middle of me talking because I can't find the charger for it anywhere. It's time to crack open my Bloom. I got the pear scare. I'm really excited to try it. I was watching Destiny's video and she was saying how it tasted just like the apple one, just a little bit different. Do you guys sound good right there? I have no clue. Whoa. See, I don't think it tastes like the apple one. I think it does taste like pear and it tastes pretty different. It's still good though. I brought you guys a little bit closer because I realized you're a little far. And I'm gonna show you all the books that I have right now that are not in my shelf because these are all like recent buys or like somewhat recent. I've bought them in the last 3 months, I would say. In the last 4 months. Okay, so we're gonna rapid fire these because a couple of these you guys have seen in my other videos that I've shown. So I have Chasing the Wild by Elliot Rose, Arrows and Apologies to add to the series because I have like half of the series on my shelf, Broken Harbor, as well as Beautiful Exile, Cruel King by Rena Kent, and Wildest Dreams by LJ Shun. And it has cute character art. Then I have some of the Legacy of God series. I think I'm missing like 2 of them. I don't know why. I think when I went to buy them, I didn't want to spend the money for the whole series. So I just bought like some random ones. I got God of Malice, God of Wrath, God of War, God of Pain, and God of Ruin. This pile that was on my shelf over here has just been a pile that has been collecting for a little bit. On the top we have King of Kearney that I got in my Boston blog. The Final Score that I also got while I was in Boston. Playing the Field that I read in my 24-hour readathon. Lights Out that I also read in my 24-hour readathon. Pink Ink that I also got in Boston. If you guys haven't already, go watch that video. Mariposa that I read a while ago. I don't remember, but I read it and then I put it on my shelf and it has not gone into my shelf. And Every Summer After, which I read and made a whole video on reading the book and watching the show. All of these bad boys here need a home on my shelf. How much is that? These are 18 books that need to go into my shelf. Whoa. And then I have both of these bookends. They're pink bows and they are so cute. I got them months ago and I have yet to put them on my shelf, so I have to find a home for these too. I separated my books. These are all the books that I want to go in my little bookshelf. So I have the Legacy of God series and then I also have Cruel King. Since they're all by Rena Kent, I like to keep my authors together unless I have like a good reason to separate them. And then I have Pink Ink. This is a recent book that I got and it just looks really cool and I want to read it soon, so I want to put it on this shelf. And Mariposa just holds a special place in my heart because it's my first ever and only military romance and it was just very good. So I think I'm gonna move you guys down in just a second, but I think I want to move Quicksilver. I have some books where I have the sprayed edges showing because the sprayed edges look really cool, so I might get rid of some of those. And then at the very bottom I have some random books that can come off the shelf because they're just kind of like filler books that I put in there. Welcome down to my smaller bookshelf. Okay, so Quicksilver is right here and then I'm gonna get rid of all these books down here as well. I'm gonna keep the Caraval series and also the I forget what this, and also I'm gonna keep the Windy City series. I don't know if I should keep these on there. If I have some space, then maybe I'll put them back, but for now, we're gonna move them. So we took a good chunk of books out. This is all the space that we have right now. I think I'm gonna start with putting the Legacy of God series up here, because even though I know the Legacy of Gods isn't Mafia, I'm pretty sure it's not Mafia, I feel like Dark on Dark fits because this is Mafia. Also, great Mafia series, by the way. This is the Alliance series. If you haven't read it, read it. My favorite is Dom, but definitely start from the beginning because it's totally worth it. I'm also gonna move over these two, Beautiful Venom and Sweet Venom, because I want them to be with my other Rita Kent books. I kind of like the dark theme going on here, so I think I'm gonna get rid of these and move them down and get some other darker books to put here too. This is what this bottom one is looking like. I do really like how it looks now, so I think I'm gonna leave it that way. We still have all of these books over here, and now we have all these books on the floor, which are the books that I basically took out of this small shelf to fit. The lighting in my room is like getting darker because I only have one window and it's very cloudy today. I finally got it organized good enough where I can stand to look at it. At first I organized this whole entire bookshelf and I changed it again because one, I hated it, and then two, I still had books left over. So I put a lot of it back how it was. That's why it probably doesn't look like I changed anything to you guys. The top I did end up putting the bow bookends, but then I took it off. I don't know if you can tell from where you are. I think you can. I put them next to my TV just to have them somewhere because they just weren't fitting anywhere. They're very big and they take up a lot of space. I also put them up here. I think I showed you guys a clip of that. Hated that too. I didn't like it, so I took it off. I put the strawberries back, so the top shelf is the same as it was before. The second shelf is also the same, and the third is basically the same. I think I added one book and took away like two. The last shelf is basically all the rest of the books crammed in there. Mariposa unfortunately did not make it to the small bookshelf, and she is all the way in the bottom of the shelf because Mariposa is also orange, so she doesn't match with anything. Now, I did have books left over. That was also part of the problem. However, I was able to fit some fantasy books on my other shelves. You guys never see those shelves because they're on the other side of my vanity, but I have another bookshelf just like this one on the other side of my vanity, and it has all of my fantasy on there. I added my 3 fantasy books that I had over here, and every summer after I was able to move to my other shelf. So I was left with about 4 or 5 books, which I put right here, and honestly it worked out great because I think this looks really cute. I tried moving my light to my nightstand, didn't like that. I thought it was ugly. This is what we are now left with. I think it's cute. That's how it's gonna stay. We're not moving it. And now that that is finally done, we are going to head over to the kitchen and deal with all my cups. In my mid-year reset, I actually said that I was gonna do what we're about to do right now, which was put all of my cups on top of my little coffee bar, and I never got to it. So today we're finally gonna do it. I've been meaning to move my cups for months. I already cleaned off my little coffee bar. I saved you guys the trouble of having to see that, but this is our current state of our cabinet. I know, a whole lot of messy mugs. Some of these are mine. Exhibit A, Mr. Edward himself. I'm gonna take all of these out and then put my cups in, and then we're gonna figure out where to put those cups. So far, these are all of my cups. I got all of these taken out. I don't know if I have more anywhere else. I have like 2 new ones in that bag, but I'm gonna put these away first and then I'll take those out. I have some mugs over here. I think I'm gonna put all my Anthropology ones together and then keep it moving. I have a lot of cups. Some of them are from TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Anthropology, Five Below, random places. My coffee bar is completely done. I put my pods in here. These are all my espresso glasses, and I have my little 2 teacups in the bottom. This is my matcha set, my 2 matchas. This is some syrup, although I have a bunch of other syrups. on another part of my house. My Nespresso, my frother, I think it's in the dishwasher. I need to take it out. Here I have my straws and some of my matcha tools, and now here they are. Don't look at the top, okay? Here are the cups. Originally I was going to organize it like all my Anthropologie cups together and then go from there, but I decided against that because one, the heights of the cups were bothering me, and two, I realized that the best way to organize it is probably the ones that I use the most in the front. So the ones all the way in the back are the ones that I use the least. So my Anthropologie cups, I have 4 in my collection right now. These 2 are Anthropologie, the pumpkin and the croissant, and then the chocolate covered strawberries and the reading mug. I saw Sarah Caroli with this mug once. I think she posted it on her story on Instagram, and I was like, yes, I need that. Although I don't use mugs often, but it's too cute. It was too cute not to get. I have some more mugs back here. I have a book club mug and then a Twilight mug all the way in the back. I'm gonna have to start drinking tea or something to use these mugs because they're too cute. It is now nighttime. I have my PJs on. I was eating something, so if you see a stain on my shirt, no, you don't. Anyways, I have 2 productivity objectives for the night. I don't know if that makes sense, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. One of them is edit a little bit of my video. I fall into this rabbit hole when I start editing where I can either edit like for 10 minutes max and then I'm bored, or I just edit the whole entire video in one night and end up going to sleep at like 5 a.m. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that actually don't like editing. They say that that's like the worst part of YouTube, that they don't like to edit, but I really love to edit. So I want to edit a little bit, at least just like the beginning of the video, and then I want to read. I need to read tonight. I got back from Boston about 2 weeks ago and I haven't read at all. When I was in Boston, I didn't read either. I only read a little bit on my way back from Boston on the plane. Well, I read quite a bit because I read basically the whole plane ride, which was like 2 hours. I started this book called Devil's Lily. If you read the Alliance series, which I feel like a lot of people haven't because I haven't heard of people reading it whatsoever. I just found the book in a store and then I bought the whole series. If you have read the Alliance series, the 3rd book in the series, Dom, the trope from that book is the same trope that I'm reading right now in Devil's Lily. So far, I will say, in the book Dom, the trope has been better than this one because in Dom, I could justify the fact that the female main character was like tricked by the male main character. In this book, the female main character is just a little naive, a little dumb, which is weird because she's a mafia princess who's been locked away her whole life. I understand that. She has had no connection and contact with other people other than like the men and people in her house. But I feel like that gives her the more reason not to trust this random Italian man. I am pretty interested in it, but her naiveness and her dumbness, I guess, is really, it's pissing me off. I'm gonna try not to get sucked into YouTube and do this because that's the whole point of this video. I'm trying to be productive. Productivity is editing and reading, not watching YouTube.